Welcome back to the Gateway Pundits Week in Review. Our top story today, watch as Donald Trump Jr. flattens Kaitlan following the VP debate. His response to her is powerful. You're not going to want to miss it. We're covering this story and so much more here on the Gateway Pundits Week in Review. Welcome back to the Week in Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours in around 10 minutes. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and our top story today is from Colin Linebarger, who reports, watch as Donald Trump flattens Kaitlan following a VP debate with a powerful response when she hits his father on civility and absolves media of blame for the assassination attempts. Let's talk about this. Infamous CNN reporter Kaitlan fell flat on her face when she tried to ambush Donald Trump Jr. with biased questions about his father's tone and coddling her media friends following Tuesday's vice presidential debate. I want to play the video here for you in just a second. The key part about this is listen to the tone of her voice and watch how she wasn't prepared for the civility and absolute kick-ass mentality from Donald Trump Jr. Watch.
As his running mate famously a few months ago, how do you think he did tonight?
I thought it was a masterclass. It was just an incredible performance, just real command of the facts. Didn't let sort of the fake fact check, try to steamroll him. He came back with actual facts. I think he literally won every issue across the board. I think he was actually very comfortable on so many of the issues that Republicans tend to fail. He was probably more comfortable in those issues than most Republicans are, even on our strong points. So I think it was an incredible debate.
Do you think he was more comfortable in those issues than your dad was in the last debate?
Well, I don't think, it wasn't necessarily a 3-on-1 debate. It started that way. I think Vance shut that down, and there were rules, and we said they should be enforced. Those rules were not enforced with my father. I think what happened in his debate was absolutely disgusting. And I think the American people witnessed that. I think they saw the bias that's out there in the media. I think they see that we are literally up against $1 trillion of mainstream media. You're up against $1 trillion of big tech functioning as the marketing department for the other side. But the reality is, Kaitlan, the world is watching what's going on right now. They see it when they go to the grocery stores on a daily basis. They watch Iran, not through proxies, but directly attacking Israel right now. We could be on the brink of World War III. You notice how those things didn't happen under Donald Trump. You may not like everything that he says. You may not always like his demeanor. But the dictators of the world understood strength. They understood the resolve that we saw after he got shot in the face coming back to fight. And they didn't trifle with that. We've been leading with incompetence and weakness for 4 years. The world has watched, and they've capitalized on that. Our enemies, Iran, wants Kamala Harris to be president. They've said that. They've leaked documents to her, stolen from our campaign, that they hacked. Russia has said they want Kamala Harris to be president because a weak America is good for Russia. A weak America is good for Iran, and a weak America is great for China, all of whom are chomping at the bit for a Harris-Walz administration and the continuation of the Biden policies that have failed America for the last 3.5 years.
Well, and I should note, when you talk about Iran, Iran did hit American troops when your dad was in office. I covered that, and today he was asked about that. He likened the traumatic brain injuries to headaches. But on the debate itself, it was very civil. They acknowledged when they agreed. They gave each other the benefit of the doubt. Should we see more of that on the debate stage when your dad's up there?
You know what? I'd love to see that across the board. Sometimes the political climate isn't that much. We've all heard about Trump derangement syndrome. We've seen what they've lied about to my family. I was an agent of Russia, but Hunter Biden's laptop was totally Russian disinformation. Turns out the opposite was true. The media did that. They created so much of that environment. The media has radicalized the people that are trying to kill my father. I've had to deal with that twice now in the last 2 months. I've had to have that conversation with my 5 young children twice in the last 2 months about someone trying to shoot their grandfather. That didn't just magically happen. That's not him. That's a media-created fake Russia scenario. They ran with it for years. Even when it was disproven, they still ran with it. That environment wasn't just created by Donald Trump.
But and that's what he's saying. Look, you guys are the fools who create this rage bait. You're the ones dividing us. You allow us to think that we went to the moon. No, I'm kidding on that one. But you guys are the ones pushing this absolute insane divisive rhetoric. Americans are trying to get along, and we were better under Trump. Damn it. I know we were. I could afford to put gas in my car without having to think about the price. Remember those good old days? Yeah, I bet you do. We have another story that I think is absolutely amazing. It comes from thegatewaypundit.com. Jim Hoff reports. Here we go. CBS hacks fact-check Vance, then won't let him speak, then cut his mic. Well, the update, Vance was right. We have the full video for you here. If you didn't watch the debate, make sure you consider watching. I did a recap on Slightly Offensive. It's my other channel here. I'm going to play the video for you. You're going to have to wait and see for yourself, but check out this response. Here they are discussing the news. Listen.
When they were talking, at one point, Vance wanted to correct something about how Haitians got into this country. And he was right, and the moderators wouldn't let him correct it. It's very interesting. Now, to the control room, Paige, do you want to play some sound right now, or do you want to go to Geraldo? Good. Here's a little taste of what happened tonight in the national conversation. That's Geraldo.
Margaret, but
thank you, Senator. We have so much to get to.
Margaret, I think it's important
we're
because
going to turn out of the economy. Thank
Margaret,
you.
the rules were that you guys weren't going to
we're-
fact check, and since you're fact checking me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on. That
Thank
is
you,
the
Senator.
facilitation of illegal immigration, Margaret, by
Thank
our
you,
own
Senator, for
leadership.
describing the legal process. We have so much to get to, Senator.
Those
We have
laws
so
have been
much.
on the books since 1990.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The
we
CBP
want to have.
app has not been on the books since 1990. It's something that Kamala Harris created, Margaret.
Gentlemen, the audience can't hear you because your mics are cut.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah, and there you have it. The point is he did crush the debate, but it's sort of like being the smartest person in a special needs class. Nothing wrong with that. You know, we're sort of in this political backlash where if you vote for Donald Trump or you're voting for him, you think Vance won. And I genuinely think he did in terms of the value of what he brought to the table. But this is a rigged system. And if this is what they're doing to the debates, they said they weren't going to rig it, they weren't going to fact check it. And what happened? They ended up fact checking. And when I say fact checking, you go, why would you be afraid of facts? It's just like how they say, you know, that they're for women's rights when they're really for killing babies. They just use the word fact check to mean making sure information that they don't want out doesn't get out and making you look stupid even when you're correct. And I'm tired of this because I'm fact checked all the time because I'm always right 100%. Ask my wife. Talking heads on CNN were forced to admit that J.D. Vance won the VP debate. We have a full video for you here, as Walz did not seem prepared. Mike LaChance reports. It turns out that J.D. Vance won the vice presidential debate tonight. Anyone who watched the whole event knows this is true. Even the analysts at CNN. In their post-debate spin room, CNN's Abby Phillips said that Walz did not seem prepared and that Vance landed a lot of punches. You got to watch this whole clip here. It's absolutely amazing. Listen to this back and forth on CNN. Watch.
I think there was a clear lack of preparation and execution here on Walz's part.
I think actually it's the opposite. I think he had too much preparation.
Maybe, yeah.
He had so many lines that he was clearly trying to say that he didn't listen and said when J.D. Vance said one of the many things he really hit Kamala Harris on, not Tim Walz, but Kamala Harris, he didn't respond because he clearly had things in his mind. I think the lack of interviews that he has done with national media, with local media, it showed. He needed more reps.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, J.D. Vance is much more experienced at this, at public speaking, at defending himself, at pivoting.
I think there was a clear lack of preparation.
Yeah, a clear lack of preparation. Genuinely, that's the truth. It's not just a preparation, but maybe preparation H is what I needed at the end of all that, because it was a pain in my ass having to sit around and listen to that sloppy resemblance of what they considered to be a debate. Now, as many of you guys know, we live in a world that's absolutely insane, and I was following an individual named Chuck Norris. You guys remember him? He's one of the guys that used to, I said kicking ass. He used to do a lot of that back in the day. Turns out he was in his 80s, but he was still kicking butt and working out and staying active. What's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. He did this by making one change. He says that he still feels like he's in his 50s. If we can bring the link up on the screen there, his wife even started doing this one thing too, and she never felt better. She says that she feels 10 years younger, and her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day. Now, Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure that you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/pundit or by clicking in the link below this video. It'll change the way that you think about your health. Once again, that's chuckdefense.com/pundit and click on the link in the description below to watch the video now. You won't believe how simple it is. Just a reminder, the legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old, yet has more energy than me. He discovered that he could create dramatic changes to his health simply by focusing on 3 things that sabotage our body as we age. Watch his method by clicking the link in the description below at chuckdefense.com/pundit, chuckdefense.com/pundit. Check it out. Now, in accordance with our typical fashion here, I want to remind you guys that Diddy's not doing too well. It turns out 120 new sexual assault lawsuits to be filed against Diddy Combs. The attorney Tony Buzbee reveals Diddy's accomplices include major banks and Big Pharma. The name will shock you. That's crazy. So here's that, like, I don't believe it, some of this stuff usually, but they're trying to say that the people who control the banks, the pharmaceutical companies, and Hollywood are working together to blackmail people using these sexual compromising situations. And to me, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. Sean Diddy Combs faces a wave of legal challenges as attorney Tony Buzbee announced plans to file 120 new sexual assault lawsuits against the music mogul. At a press conference in Houston, Texas, high-profile attorney Tony Buzbee shared shocking details about the ongoing investigation, which has already shaken the entertainment industry. Yeah, they've always known about this. Buzbee, who was representing 120 victims, 25 of whom were minors. Okay. Now we're talking about raping kids. So that's not good. None of it's good, but this is can we just stop calling like raping minors assault or harassment? Like there's a big difference between raping children and making an inappropriate joke with a coworker at work. And I think we need to find a distinction between the two of those things. When they're like, oh, he's getting in trouble for sexual harassment. By the way, he raped 25 kids allegedly. That's pretty serious. So this is a crazy development. Now, our last headline I just want to mention, there's an amazing rescue in North Carolina as a local hero jumps in the raging floodwaters to rescue an elderly woman who was swept away by the current. It is a must-see video. You've got to check it out on our website. If you like this report and you enjoy getting the review every single day, good news. We're now expanding to 5 days a week. We will be getting the report every single day because you guys have been supporting us directly. Make sure that you do so by dropping a comment and a like below, sharing these videos with your friends and family. And also, for the Gateway Pundits Week in Review, my name is Elijah Schaffer. Have a great rest of the week as always, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.